Come on, refresh. Think we're going. We are going. Come on,
Does
refresh.
it work?
Think we're going. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna pop out chat on the other screen.
Ooh, well done. Thanks, my competent co-host. Hello, everybody. We are here. I'm here with Normie and Freeze.
I need to
Hello.
do the thing again. Give me a sec.
Trying to
Oh,
remember.
Rippy's here too.
Hey, Rippy's here. Hello.
Hi.
How you
Wanna be
doing?
here the whole thing?
Yeah.
Well,
Rippy knows all about the NA
just
stuff, and
give
she can
me
help with.
yes or no, so I know if I take the whole screenshot or not. Yeah, I'll take it as a yes, whatever.
You just have that as background for now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't worry. This we fix. Check this out. Am I not crazy?
Oh, that's amazing. Incredible stuff. Oh, is it also like a live thing or a screenshot?
No, because I'm gonna be. I don't want to leak DMs. I can do a
Oh
live
yeah,
thing, but I'll be
no,
leaking DMs.
that's sensible. Yeah, I just thought it was gonna like flash green and stuff. I was like, wow, how do you manage to do those things?
I mean, I
There's
can.
all these magic stuff that you guys can do that
I can,
that I am
but
bad at.
I would have to DM on my phone then.
Yeah,
So it doesn't
it's
go away.
okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I can even add
All right.
text.
So I guess we can just like get on with it in that case. Who's gonna got some people watching? Hello, chat. How's it going? Right. So today, what we're going to be doing, we are going to be going over. Essentially, the title of this thing is Pro Strats to watch for in the Dominion Series Major. So the Dominion Series has been going on for the last. We've had stage 3 of the Dominion Series going on for the last, I guess, 2 months of it now, and the qualifiers have been finished. We've had people. 4 teams have qualified in NA and EU, and they are going to the major, which is going to be next weekend on Saturday. It's going to be streamed on the For Honor official For Honor game Twitch channel, and I think also on their YouTube or the Ubisoft YouTube and the Ubisoft channel as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it should be easy enough to find. It's going to be on the 27th. I think it starts at like 1 p.m. Eastern time, normally something along those lines. So in the afternoon, and it will be very shiny and fancy, and they're going to need drops for various different cosmetics you can get for watching it. But as you know, if you've watched Dominion, it can be there's a lot to go on. There's lots going on at any one time, so it can be a bit confusing to follow. And hopefully today we're going to give you some pointers, things to look out for, which will help you follow along what's going on the screen, so you can enjoy watching the major with all your newfound competitive knowledge. So yeah. Anything to add to that, Freeze, Normie?
Good, no, you covered it.
I have a incredible plan for the after we get done with the gangs and stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the podcast thing going, and it's gonna be a tiny window of me playing onesies
Awesome.
for content.
Oh, that's a good idea. So you'd be talking and playing at the same time.
I mean, it's ones, whatever.
I can't do that. That's
Me neither.
something. Yeah, no, I can't. I mean, I can honestly, I can hardly play even when I'm not talking. But
It's okay. I
that's
make
just me.
demonstration, and I'm even gonna
Hey
put
there,
on the good
Cumulus.
settings.
Awesome. Thanks for the follow. Or well, for following, popping up in the chat. I don't know if you've actually followed. I don't know words. Good to see you anyway. So Humanist, who's going to will be casting the Dominion series, is here in chats. So yeah, listen to our much less professional sounding talking, and then you will just watch Dominion. So I guess what we should start off with probably is the characters that you are likely to be seeing in the Dominion series majors. So and if you show your menu or something, you can invite us in, Normie, as well if you want to set up a lobby.
Oh yeah.
So characters which, well, from last time the last, I guess we could talk about which characters have changed from the last major. The biggest changes have been the removal of option selects and the big buffs, well, reworks to Raider and Orochi. So Orochi and Raider are both, after their reworks, I would like both consider really meta characters, and Raider in particular is, I think many would consider a mandatory character. So I think we're likely to see Raider on every single team. Who we won't be seeing compared to the last major is Warlord, because Warlord has been strongly affected by the removal of option selects and also a specific nerf to his crashing charge. So we won't see any Warlord. I think it's very unlikely to see a Warlord.
And one thing in general, last major you had a lot of ganking. Like it was the gank characters. You still had Centurion to a degree. You had every team was running Gladiator back then. Like neither of those two will be featured. You won't see a Gladiator. You won't see a Centurion anymore.
Yeah.
It's all about the team fights now.
It's all about team fights. And I think the removal of option selects has made it so that these big unblockable moves are better in team fights. And also because previously externally guarding and option selecting was very safe thing to do. So that's no longer possible. And also it means that in a way ganks are easier to set up on like lone opponents just with regular characters because they don't have nearly as many defensive options. So not only are team fights more important, the ganks are also. It's weird. Like ganks are stronger, but that means that you don't need a specialized ganker as much because you can just do the same things with any old character. Well, I say any old character, but the kind of characters that. Or you can invite Rippy in as well if you want to, Normie as well.
I don't have him. You invite him.
Oh, you don't? All right, I'll invite. I think I got you, Rippy.
Yeah, I have you added, so.
Maybe
All right.
I'll be the one doing the gangs.
Yeah, and I can just be talking about them, which is makes it more.
No, yeah, you can talk.
I'll
and
be
then-
target then. It's fine.
No, you're gonna be ganking with me.
Will you? Okay.
Rippy's there as well. It's a two, so we can both be ganked or.
I mean,
Switch
my
over
friend,
and
you can play and talk at the same time, so you can sit
Yeah, I
on the
can't.
sidewalk
Yeah.
and talk.
It's certainly better for me to be being ganked than
Do we have
Or-
a cheerleading emote? Just make the macro for that. Stand on the side.
yeah.
Well,
Oh, I
put
totally
rain on. Yeah.
So yes, we won't see Gladiator, and we'll probably also see. Last time we saw a lot of Shigoki, and JJ and Jianhu were pretty much all the teams are running those ones, and I think now we won't be seeing as much Goki, but he's still present. He's just not he's not considered mandatory anymore because there have been nerfs to his. Rippy, you should pick one of the characters that's going to be featured in the miniseries if you got like JJ or somebody.
Go JJ and Raider because 140 HP.
No, I'm going Goki, so
I mean that works, yeah.
we got a whole spread. So we will see. We probably will see Goki, but not. I don't think every team is running a Goki. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nemesis aren't running Goki at the moment, are they?
Okay, I'll take over from here since we're struggling
Oh.
with the keeping up with the meta. Okay, so
That's fair enough. I'm just trying to include you, Normie. I'm not
yes,
struggling.
calm. I take over my dojo now. Okay, so what was it last major? Like you said, we had most like common comp was Warlord, Warmonger, Scent, and usually Black Prior.
No, that wasn't last. That was major one.
Okay, meet stage 1.
I mean, okay, what was last major then? Because
Last
Scent was
major
still
was.
around.
No, last major was.
Oh, it was Glad. It was Glad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Goki.
Yeah, when people switch from
Shanhu-
Scent to Glad, basically.
Okay,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
we will
I'm
not be
glad.
seeing any Goki. Not in EU at least.
No,
no,
isn't RMG running Goki?
well, they're struggling, so they're going back and forward. But if there is a team that will have a Goki, it might be them. They haven't decided yet. But overall, everybody's dropped Goki because it's not like the nerf was huge or anything. It's just that the new meta characters counter Goki. like Orochi, for example. Goki is useless against Orochi. Kyoshin also smacks Shigoki pretty well.
Yeah,
Raider does
characters
as
would.
well. JJ is the only one that kind of is close to even.
Is that just because the others can punish his bash very well and
Well,
like
yeah. People,
avoid?
those other ones can punish his bash. Those other ones just delete the character in a 1v1. In a team fight, all of them can just external dodge, including JJ with this one. In ganks, I mean, it doesn't matter about ganks, but yeah, basically he's weak. In current meta, he's weak.
Fair enough. I think we'll probably see him in NA though. Still.
Yeah, and then there's still I think at least half the teams still run Shigoki, maybe 3 teams as well. I'm not sure about guidance comp right now.
Well,
I know
so yeah,
TKS and Blackjack Dolls will most likely
Yeah.
be running Shigoki from what I've heard at least.
Seems like the early qualifiers, Black Jackals was first, RMG was first.
Alright, well,
Struggling with adapting.
right
interesting.
now,
Yeah.
to compare them to old comps, Kyoshin has taken the spot of what was once Centaur Glad as the ganker. JJ, I mean, then we have very big team fight heroes like JJ Raider. We're gonna see Zanhu probably, and you're gonna notice a trend of big hitbox heroes with sometimes very little recoveries, many unblockables, a lot of orange, whatever else, and feats, a lot of feats, because we are in a team fight meta, and what do we have? I mean, Raider just is by a huge margin the best hero in the game. I'm pretty sure you said mostly everyone would consider him mandatory. No doubt in my mind that absolutely every team on every continent, on every planet, knows that Raider is mandatory.
Yeah.
For sure.
I just want to quickly just before we know we moved on a little bit from Goki, but I just want to clarify for everybody what the nerf to Goki was. So Goki had his Demon Ball nerfed, so it's now interruptible. I mean, normally you can interrupt it for me on freeze. Yeah, well, you can see he hit me out of the end of it. So it hasn't got hyper armor anymore, and it also doesn't have hyper armor on the opponent either. So you can only get one heavy off it. If I Demon Ball him towards Rippy, Freeze is not going to eat 3 heavies. He's just going to eat the 1, and he's going to be able to parry afterwards. And also his tier 4 staggering blow, the duration got nerfed heavily from its frankly ridiculous 45 seconds to 20 seconds, which is now kind of in line with other buff feats for other buff tier 4. So like unblockable on Kensei is 20 seconds, and most of these like damage buff feats like Fear itself and so on are 20 seconds as well, I think. So yeah, that's why Goki has been nerfed. Those are the only real nerfs. Technically, I think since the last major, his iframes on his headbutt, the guard break vulnerability on dodge headbutt also got slightly increased. Before it was
It didn't increase to it.
Yeah.
It got
It was
implemented.
brought in line, let's
Yeah.
put it like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, brought in like it was a bug fix because it previously it had 0 MS guard break vulnerability when it started, which meant that it had 100 MS less than you should do, only 300, and now it's the same as other 300 MS startup dodge attacks, so it's got 400 MS guard break vulnerability. So, were there any other nerfs that we've missed on? That I missed on him?
You mentioned the sprint run on it.
Oh yes, yeah. His sprint is his super sprint is now just good instead of like insanely fast. He's no longer the fastest character in the game running around. He's now just slightly faster than most characters doing this thing. So he's no longer like the crazy super speed rotation character he was as well, which is actually really very, very important considering how aggressive the meta has become with pushing home points and stuff as well, which I've noticed as well.
And you have to say he still has 2 big bugs going for him. And once those are fixed, so his value will continue to go down.
Yeah,
It's already
Yes.
lower
those
than
are
it was
fixed,
before.
I am 99% sure that he will just be dropped completely by every team.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah, I mean, that's if unless he ends up with a really good synergy with Shinobi or some other characters that get reworked. Or no, Kyoshin didn't get nerfed. Kyoshin is actually newly present in the meta. So he had released during the last major, during the last series, but you weren't allowed to use characters that have just released in like the current season of the Dominion series, so people weren't using him, and now people are using him. I think mostly because he's a really good counter to Orochi, with his
there's a lot of
full block.
reasons. I could go through them if you want.
I mean, but I think that was the reason why he was initially looked at, because
Yes.
Orochi was so present, and he has a very good matchup against Orochi, thanks to his full block, his external crushing counters, and as a dodge attack that can punish his kick, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going for Kyoshin. I think he's, let me think, maybe third strongest right now in meta, maybe fourth. He's like top 4 definitely for sure.
Yeah, it
and
is interesting how he started off being quite underrated, like when he was released. I mean, he got a buff quickly after his release, which was very necessary. But it's interesting how people were kind of sleeping on him quite a lot, I think.
I mean, I
beforehand.
think it's mostly because his launch was tragic,
Yeah.
with the character being like terrible.
He got
Especially he felt terrible. That was
he
one
felt
of the,
terrible, yeah.
the main reasons.
Yeah, he had just horrible chain links and horrible recovery cancels that didn't feel like recovery cancels, and those got buffed to being usable, and now the character is very usable. So do you think his presence as like the third or fourth best is because Orochi is present in the meta, or do you think if, let's say, if
No,
there
not
wasn't,
at all.
okay,
I mean,
so if there's a
obviously
clone of,
that's a plus to it that he counters Orochi, but there's a lot more things going for him other than just that. Because there's teams that don't run Orochi. You're not gonna see every other team instantly drop Kyoshin because these guys don't run an Orochi. We don't need a Kyoshin.
yeah, okay,
like
fair enough.
he's the second best duelist in the current meta after Raider. He's got stupid crazy damage output. He's got some of the best ganks, easiest to set up, and loads of damage. His feats are absolutely insane.
Tier 3, I think. Probably.
No, people are just, I don't know what's with you guys and shitting on the tier 3. It's amazing.
Fair enough. I mean, it gives you access to the tier 1, which is really good. So whenever you need it,
Yeah.
I guess.
Like tier 1 is tier 1, whatever. You're not gonna use anything else. It's what, 4 bleed damage on each
Yeah,
hit.
each hit. So it's basically 12 extra damage on any of those ganks, or Fujin cut things.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
16. I can't count.
it's not really about the ganks. It's because you won't even be having it in the gank maybe. But you have that plus the tier 2 unique one if you're running that one, which is what, 3 heal on each hit.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
that turns your somebody attacking into your all guard into a 50 something damage health swing, which is
51, I
absolutely
think.
51,
Yeah,
which is absolutely
pretty
crazy, especially in 1v1 scenarios. Obviously tier 3 is those two without having to all guard anything. And tier 4 is either fear or the unique, which again, the unique is I'd say it's worse than fear, but it's not much worse. It
Yeah.
just requires very good timing to get it most out of it. People just use it bad times and miss all of it, and they're like, "Oh, it's a bad tier 4."
Yeah. I go, it's quite nice that there's tier 4s with a skill flaw that require good use, like good
I
skill.
mean, yeah, if it was a tier list of those with what feats have the highest skill setting would be like, probably the highest one would be staggering blow, and after that Kyoshin's tier 4.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I have a question in chat. Kyoshin better than Orochi on duel?
In duel, yes. Orochi is okay. Unpopular opinion. Orochi is not that great in duels. The people in the comp scene, a lot of them can just react to the mix-up, and if you have a static guard, which most heroes in the competitive
Meta.
meta, forgot the word, in the meta do, you just keep your guard up and dodge the kick. So even if they do dodge forward light, you block it, and if they do the storm rush and you scatter the storm rush, the Storm Rush is even more reactable. So that will get parried, I'd say, like 80% of the time. So his offense is not that great against players that can react. So yes, Orochi is worse, or Kyoshin is better than Orochi in 1v1.
Yeah. I mean, Kyoshin's kick is quite reactable at top level as well, though, isn't it?
His kick is not used. His kick is only used to confirm things, or
Yeah.
sometimes people use its stupid range to catch people.
Yeah. But in 1v1s, it's not really used an offensive tool. I guess his
No.
main offensive tool would be his neutral
His
unblockable.
mix-up. No, his
Yeah.
mix-up is because it's borderline and
No,
reactable.
but you only get into the mix-up from, I guess, blocked heavies and lights and that lot.
Zorns and parries, whatever. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
basically the mix-up has crazy potential. So the unblockable is 25 damage. The undodgeable heavy is 30. The bash is 14 into another mix-up. It's really good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like
what else is
BP
there?
on steroids. So which other other characters we've got? We've got JJ in. It's gonna be likely meta. I think. Actually, something I'd want to mention is what do you think the likelihood of seeing Aramusha is? Because we saw
We won't
not in
see any,
EU.
just in NA, that one team. That's the only
Yeah. Do
Musha you're gonna see.
you think Reading Comprehension will be playing Aramusha, Rippy, or do you think they'll go switch off?
I know he's been playing Aramusha. Vayne has been playing Aramusha, but I've also seen him playing a bit of JJ as well. So I'm not sure what they'll end up running. Aramusha is definitely an option for them, though.
Yeah. Aramusha kind of fills a similar role to Kyoshin, just with
Aramusha is borderline meta right now. He needs a bit more to get pushed in. IMO. I think he
Yeah.
needs range on his chain, because his chain doesn't go anywhere. He needs some actual range so he can move through a team fight with those heavies to sort of fill a space of like a hybrid between Raider and Kyoshin, of having crazy range and just zooming across in team fights with heavies.
Fair enough. And do you think that's all that will be required to put Arrow into?
I think that would make him
contention?
viable. I mean, I have other things I'd want for him, like right. I mean, right
I'd
now
like to
him
see
and
better
Kyoshin.
hitboxes on his attack. I feel like Aramusha hitboxes are just bad.
I mean, we'll see about that, because that will change if they ever increase his range. Their hitboxes are gonna become funky.
Yeah,
But
I guess you're right.
he would. I mean, right now he has the same weakness as Kyoshin, which is unblockables, because no dodge recovery cancels, only all guard, which obviously won't all guard and unblockable. Like right now, Kyoshin's hardest counter is Raider in a team fight because of the neutral UB, and then after
Yeah.
him JJ with the Sifu zone, and then after that, kind of everything is pretty easy to deal with, since you can
Yeah.
just use your dodge attack to get away. But yeah, range is definitely one thing, and his feats are fine, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
that would be enough to push him in. To be honest, he doesn't need that much. He would already be viable if you had somebody who would play him like nonstop and would be like just a god at the character.
Yeah.
He would already be very viable. Without
You think
just
that's
push him in.
likely for many of the characters in? I feel like that's likely for quite a number of characters would be viable and picked if there was one person who was really very very strong with them, for example. We've already seen. I don't think
know.
Kyoshin would have been played if it weren't for Clutch starting it.
More or
Yeah,
less,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree.
Clutch kind of started. He was like, there were some people testing it, including myself. It's just that he's obviously the streamer guy, so he got it out there.
Yeah, fair enough. But like it needs somebody who's fairly well known, even within the comp scene, to be like
Yeah.
really pushing it and like enough that they can have a team around them as well that sticks with them. Because let's say you have, well, I mean, Shinobi's not a meta right now, but if you had a really good Shinobi character, or a
Not at
really
all.
a virtuoso Nobushi character player, but a virtuoso Nobushi could work just about, except they would need a team around them that's willing to be okay, you can play Nobushi, not tell them to.
I mean, if you perform with the
Forget it.
character, your team's gonna be more than fine with it. Your team will
Yeah.
probably care about winning, not oh no, I have a bad character in my team. But
Yeah.
yeah, on the topic of
Oh,
Kyoshin, I wanted to say Kyoshin right now has the highest skill ceiling in the game as a character. Uh, like I only two Kyoshin players right now I'd consider are actually like at the top and actually getting closer to the skill ceiling and like just a lot better than the rest. In the major, you're gonna see Clutcher doing, I mean, performing these crazy performances with Kyoshin because the other one is
Yeah.
underage, and it is me, Saj. But
Saj.
yeah, I mean, he is definitely crazy with Kyoshin. He does some things better than I do. I do some things better than he does. But it's I can't even explain it, to be honest. There's so much to the character to like
Yeah.
master and know when to use, using feats to get the most out of them, uh, getting the most out of your offense, which can be really bad, to be honest. If you don't know how to use it properly, you can do 0 damage in 100 years. While if you do use it properly, you could blow up someone in like 4 attacks.
Talking of Kyoshin, I think now would be a good opportunity to demonstrate the Kyoshin gank because we mentioned it.
Yes,
So,
sir.
like you and Freeze can gank me. It's fairly straightforward to do.
You want to do triple heavy or just heavy zone? Just do heavy zone for now.
Heavy zone,
Yeah, just
alright.
heavy zone for now. I think. Oh,
Yeah, you kind of need to counter cover.
I actually managed to counter it by just not counter guard breaking, which is the classic way
That
to
won't
counter.
work. That won't work. That won't work.
Oh, okay.
Won't it put me out of range?
No.
Alright, okay, RGB.
You need to do your heavy. You need to
Later?
land your heavy lands after
bad.
my.
Oh, you'll kill me, but
I mean, no, we won't. I mean, we'll kill you with the gank. Just do it again.
yeah.
You could have blocked that, but
Yeah,
somewhere
I
there.
saw the.
That's like the base one. You can do.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't. Why did I? Oh, my bad.
Oh, that's
There-
right. Doesn't matter.
There is a very tight window, which also depends on placement and positioning to get all the 3 heavies confirmed. But I do not recommend it now with Raider because it's just too tough. But we can try it here, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So that's what, like, what? So that's.
Oh, I don't have my
a lot.
damage log on.
A lot because
I mean, that would kill a 128 HP character.
yeah. Thing is, because on the cuts, there is no damage reduction for my teammates heavy. It's full damage.
Yeah, because it's a
Unlike,
pinning move.
for example, you can compare this to Zerk gank, but since Zerk gank is not a pinning move, it does have damage reduction.
Ah, interesting. I didn't realize that I'd have thought that the multiple hits would actually work like Zerk's, and just have enough hit stun between and be fast enough chains that they're guaranteed on the same hit stun.
No,
but
I mean, you can see him going into the animation when I do it.
yeah, I guess they do have a special like getting hit animation.
The first
fair
one
enough.
is just a normal attack, and then the 3 cuts are the actual pin.
Interesting. Well, fair enough. I didn't know that it. Well, I knew it functioned differently. I never really thought about it. So there we go. Thank you very much. And I guess we've talked about, somebody's mentioned in chat JJ, who is the other character, which I think every team's running JJ, aren't they? Is there any team
Yes.
that's not running JJ?
I'm pretty sure every team is running JJ. I think he's the second most mandatory character after Raider.
All right, so you want to tell us a little bit about what makes JJ so good in
Well, okay,
this meta?
when you look at it as just a character, he seems a bit uninteresting because in 1v1s he's the weakest out of the current meta characters. In anti-ganks, he's honestly also the weakest. He's not bad, I don't think, but he's average compared to what Kyoshin, Raider, the other characters can do. Then you have the thing that carries him the most, which are his feats. With current most optimal feats being unique tier 1, which is 5% damage boost for each player and each enemy in range. I think it's 5. Second, it would be Inspire, which is what, 25% damage boost?
20.
I think it's 20.
20. Tier 3 is unique, which is Soothing Mist. People have been sleeping on Soothing Mist up until people picked up JJ, because they nerfed it into the ground. It's true. It used to heal basically to full.
Oh yeah, it was insane when it came out. He was a meta character just on that feat.
Yes,
So
he
you
was
still
picked like
feel-
when he was released. He had like 600 MS lights and all that kind of shit. But he
Yeah.
was only picked because Soothing Mist was such a busted feat.
Yeah,
So the kit was shit, just the feat.
Yeah, it was
was
an
insane.
80 health heal for all 4 people in range.
I mean,
and it was on
it's-
The cooldown was so insane. You got like
Yeah.
2 off per team fight.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Like a 30, 40 second cooldown or something.
The
no, it was a
kit-
minute, but
kit
it was
i-
ridiculous.
character's kit is still the most underwhelming part. It's still good, but just like I said, in 1v1s he suffers a lot because even when you do deal damage, it's very slow. All you're gonna get in at a time is like a light, and if you're lucky, a heavy. Before you either have to regen your stamina or you get parried and GG from there. In team fights, he's really, really, really good. Obviously, big hitboxes, big unblockables. Feats that do carry team fights. Feats like, I mean, his tier 1 and tier 2 can turn what is like that gank that we did with 3
Yeah.
heavy confirms that would kill.
The difference between giving the opponent revenge or killing him outright.
Yeah.
It's just a massive difference.
Also, just turning stuff like a 38 damage Raider Zone into like 50,
45 damage range
45,
zone, yeah.
50, yeah, which
Yeah,
would delete some characters. Then you think, oh, you hit 2 people with that zone, and yeah, it's whatever. You just
He also
destroy the
has,
team.
I mean, quite chunky damage. Well, should we do Rippy, do you want to do the Goki gank on Normie? Just like
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, I can do that one. I can do
I
it.
mean,
because
yeah, you can do it. I want to see Rippy do it though. Alright, let go.
Rippy can do it. Well, I believe in Rippy.
I'll try.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm way too late. Hold on.
I mean, you can just do heavy light as well.
Yeah, it just do heavy. Like
Nah, I'll
the
get it,
unblockable
I'll
is
get
not
the
worth
UV.
it. Big
Oh
hug.
my god, I don't know why that didn't work. That's right. Well, if we get revenge, we'll just carry on going anyway. So
Yeah, just do it.
Alright, hold on.
That's what I was scared of, sir. I do it.
Don't worry, I'll get
Come on, I
this
believe in
time
you. I
I'll
believe
get
in
it.
you. I'm not dodging, by the way. I could dodge all of those.
Too early there.
Almost.
I was too late as well.
And I was
Yeah.
going
What
What
Yeah.
they're trying
I'll
to
do
do
it with
there
the
is
heavy light
the...
just to show.
okay. Come on, let's switch because I can get the timing 100%.
Oh yeah, you can do it.
They want
I've
the
practiced on
unblockable
YouTube,
to
right?
hit during wake up, so he gets staggered again,
Uh,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
much easier to do with an unblockable move compared to a blockable one.
people have
So that's why
moved over.
JJ does that.
Majority of people have moved over from using the UB and using heavy into light instead. Personally, I was struggling with the UB, and people still do. Nobody can get it more than like 75% of the time.
Yeah.
You go Kivasi. And I am confident that I can do it 100% of the time with heavy into light.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go.
100%. There we go.
100%.
But yeah, like Normie said, you either do heavy into light, where the light is undodgeable because
rate of this time,
heavy
Rippy.
hit stun.
Not even heavy hits stun.
No, medium hit stun. But I'm just meaning you can't dodge a light after being hit by heavy.
Yes.
So the light is undodgeable, basically.
Yeah.
So even if it's blocked or parried, the next hug will be guaranteed, anyways.
Yeah.
That's the key here.
It'd be funny if I mess up the timing now. But
That's alright.
yeah, obviously not every character has EB, and for every character is different. Like for example, for JJ, it used to be top back heavy into top heavy to confirm it. For Orochi, people did backlight into top heavy.
Yeah, Jeonhu can do it too.
Yeah, who can do it too. It's
Backlight into.
different things. Right, don't dodge the hug.
Are we
in
doing it?
case- Yeah. Alright, let's do it on the radar.
He's got more health.
I won't go
I was late on that one.
And there he goes.
Yeah, you can time that heavy as well to make sure that you either hit the person who's got the hug revenge locks, so it revenge locks until the hug does damage itself, or if you hit them with a higher damage heavy before the hug does damage, you can
You can
revenge
try
off.
the unblockable on him, I guess.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, tip.
So you can hit them with.
I don't know the unblockable timing because I just don't need to do it. So I would be just failing. But another trick is here. Let me get you down. You are about to hug a guy. You're doing the hug gang, and you need an exi. If you throw an attack that will hit your Shigoki, your teammate, before they hit your enemy, you'll get an exi. Otherwise, if you just hit him,
Interesting. So that's it.
yeah. So here, if you hug
hug?
him, yeah,
Okay.
and I do heavy from this side, I'm gonna get an exi. And if we do it again next game, and I just do a top heavy and hit him, I'm not gonna get anything.
See, I didn't know about that because we had trouble when
Yeah, we tried to work out what it was.
with the Shinobi gank during the
Oh,
testing round,
yeah,
because if you hit your Shigoki teammate, you don't get a pin.
Yes.
If you don't hit him, you do get the pin.
Let me get you down again.
See, I always thought it's just a timing thing.
That should be enough. You hug him,
Yeah.
and I just do a top heavy. I don't get anything.
I just flop on the ground like the ragdoll I am.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's because you need to bump his Shigoki out of the hug animation to get the execution.
because yeah, you're basically just bumping him out of the animation, and he goes back to neutral to what Rippy would be now. That's what the game thinks the Orochi's doing, or whoever you're ganking is on.
Yeah.
So that's obviously good for an exi.
I guess it's kind of that it's almost it wouldn't be able to do that when you couldn't interrupt Shigoki's heavy, because when you couldn't interrupt the hug, you weren't able to get an execute off it because, well, they were never in a state when you weren't executing. So
Wait, I'm gonna do it again. Please.
So whilst we're on the topic of ganks, let's try. I want to see if we can get we can do the yeah, Nomi's I'm sure we can call this a career. I think left or right is fine as long as
no,
we get the.
I mean, I can't because you're here, because you two are here. So I'm gonna target.
Oh
both
yeah,
of you.
sorry, I'm getting out of the way. Yeah, not normally doing a highly competitive thing here.
Oh, heavy?
Let me do. I mean, no, you do the emotes and let me light.
Wait, what? No, you need to parry.
No, I'm not trying to parry. Just lock on. That's all. Let me do the rest.
Huh?
I need to be the one locking on it. I'm gonna kick you.
Oh, that. I thought you wanted
Oh,
to range. You wanted to range choke. That's what I thought you
Yeah, I
wanted.
thought you were gonna
I mean,
do that.
we can do that as
Which
well.
is-
but, I mean,
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're just wasting time.
This,
Yeah,
at least
it's irrelevant.
We're doing things that we'll see in the Dominion series, and hopefully we won't see a paired emote into long range Janhu JJ choke, because, well, that would probably count as a game breaking input.
You
And
sure? I think it's.
as somebody
Does
who's
it, you think? I'm trying to
It's
think
not-
whether it would
it's-
be within
it's
the
banned.
rules
It's
or not.
banned. It's banned.
it's banned. It's banned. I tried to get it explicitly banned in the rule set. It was the decision was that it's falls within game breaking input, so we won't be seeing
the
that.
reason it was actually banned is because you could use it to heal your teammate with hugs.
Yeah.
Uh,
There are a couple of
because
bugs that you can do.
you don't actually deal the damage. Like I dealt the damage there because it was heavies, but from a hug, I don't think you deal the damage. And your
Can you do
team-
hug because it's neutral now? Because previously it was a.
Yeah, you can do hug. It's just okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, here you have to do it first. I mean, wait, no, we're getting off track. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so whilst we were talking about ganks, let's quickly demonstrate the Orochi Raider gank. I will try. I've managed to mess this up in matchmaking loads of times with Normie the other day, so it's my chance to redeem myself. It's going to be kick into light, and then Rippy will heavy, and then I will kick again, and then
Triple
I will
confirm.
kick again. Yeah, pretty much.
No,
So,
that's triple confirm.
oh, I actually got hit by the top heavy then, which is, I guess, my fault.
Rippy, you're not supposed to delay the heavies.
That's right. I messed up anyway. So,
Basically, it's just like any triple confirm that you've seen before. Like for example,
one
like
more
when-
time on Normie. Get that of
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Bit of you on it.
But it also
times.
happens. It actually happens quite often that you see the second heavy being blocked.
Oh, did I mess up?
Yes, you did.
No.
Rip.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's that little window. Either you the second heavy will be blocked, or you do the zone too late. It
mean,
happens very often.
If you want, we can show it. I'm like 90%
Oh,
sure.
you're just gonna make.
Come on,
Oh,
chillax.
I got the
All right.
timing right on that one though.
So it's triple confirm, just like any triple confirm you've seen in the past metas, like for example, Warlord Kensei was triple confirm. Uh, you just initiate with kick and confirm the other heavies. It's just that with Orochi, he has enough recovery to just confirm all of them with the kick.
Yeah. Can you do the same thing with Janhu?
Yes, but it's much harder
Okay, fair enough.
because
Because Janhu also has dodge
Zanhu's
recovery after his bash. So just
Zanhu's
so
bash works funky when you're, I think, third hit stagger.
Oh, okay. Is it like it has a weird knockback range
Yeah.
or something like that?
For example,
Yeah.
with Raider, your Raider is gonna be able to block the heavy. With Kyoshin, you're gonna bash them out of the way of the heavy, and
Ah, I see.
yeah, it's harder with that one, but yeah, it's basically the same gank. The same gank actually works with JJ.
Yeah, but this kick one, you're actually gonna see it a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like because this is Orochi's main gank. So,
Yeah. And you can do the same thing with JJ or with I mean, I guess those are the characters he'd do it with, right? Would you do it with a
Kyoshin.
Janhu as well? If there was a Janhu around?
Janhu, yeah. I mean, Orochi's kick is easier to time, so they're gonna do his. But I've yet to see Orochi and Janhu on the same team in EU.
Yeah, if there were. Oh,
Anyways,
sorry. Am I very loud? Well,
what else is there?
100%.
oh, okay. I will. I'll turn my volume down. Can I even do that? All these. I don't think I can change my own
You're fine.
volume.
You're fine now. That was
Oh,
my
okay.
fault.
Oh, it was you in Discord. Okay, sorry. I thought you meant on the stream.
Speaking to you through Twitch.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, I see. All right. No
Great
worries.
my voice through Twitch because you can hear me.
It's okay.
All right. Back on topic.
Yes.
So Kyoshin and Orochi are the main gankers. Those you're gonna see. Although Kyoshin is the ganker, so if there's a Kyoshin and Orochi together, they're gonna do the Kyoshin gank, preferably. There is even use for Raider in the gank as a ganker, which is a bit funky. Which people have learned to time a neutral zone off of a counter guard break to get the full damage.
Oh yeah.
And there is also triple confirm from that. For example,
Same as it's similar to the timing Blackprior's slash off a counter guard break as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. So you just basically guard break as soon as you see you. Well, yeah. I'm not going to explain the timing very well, but you're aiming to hit the last. Sorry.
The two general ganks you're gonna see is Kyoshin gank and Bash gank.
Yeah. The reason Nomi mentions this is because even if you have Raider, it's when you have three people on a point all of a sudden and seeing that's just one opponent. It's about who you send out because you don't need Orochi and Kyoshin on the same point to gank someone. So you send one of them out. It probably depends on team, but
It's
you don't.
more the Raider one is more so because people obviously you can counter the Kyoshin gank by doing well-timed interrupts or dodging away, making it really tough for them, and it can take a long time, and you don't want it to take a long time. So when you know they're gonna defend themselves, you just make the call out and do the other gank to catch them by surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll see that. I'd I'd offer to try and demonstrate counter gank anti ganking, but that's not going to happen, is it? So, all right. Which other things have we got to? Noodles, get off there. Sorry, my cat is being. Get down. She does this whenever I stream anything. Like if Normie's the one here to get my streaming career out. Noodles, my cat, is the one here to just destroy it. Right. Other things we've talked about the main characters we will likely see. We've talked about the characters we won't see. We've shown off a couple of ganks that you'll likely see. Shall we talk quickly about overall strategies and rotations that are going to be more common to see in this major than maybe in the last major?
Well, I mean, okay, do you showcase those or do you want to just talk about them?
Well, I'm not sure we can showcase it with just the number of ours. I guess we can. And if you maybe have any matches recorded, you could bring up. Then maybe we
I
could.
could just bring up a VOD of like Clutch or something, but
Yeah, we could do that if you want to, but then we'd have to sort of flick through. I guess
Do
it's
you
gonna
want to
be.
restream like his quality?
yeah, that's the thing. We're
I
not
don't
gonna we don't have anyone other than Clutch, and Clutch stream quality is dumpster. So
It doesn't really matter if the stream quality is not great. To be honest, it's just we can. So, are any new maps being
I
preferred
mean,
or
we can
played?
totally showcase it with just us. We have 4. We can
Okay, all right. Yeah, let's do that in that case.
I mean, that
Yeah,
would be
normally.
a bit stupid with doing that for every map, but we'll do it
Yeah.
for like the 2 types of maps, which is side point maps and mid fight maps. And Harbor's an exception, but nobody likes Harbor, so we don't talk about Harbor.
Really, nobody likes it.
I like Harbor, but
You do, because I
I'm-
like seeing it.
I'm
I
just
think it's
not,
an exciting map.
I mean, it's the exciting map because nobody ever caps a point and there's a perpetual fight going on. But
Gets it.
for the players, nobody likes it except for me because I don't know why I like it, but I like it. Let me.
Yeah, we'll put on
1 million
Harper's
points.
alright. You know, it's a nice change of pace.
what's coming now. Yeah, it is nice to watch, but I'm not sure if we. Well, actually, that's a good point. If we will see if teams are banning it, or do you think they're going to? Like, teams will
People
pick it.
will
Because,
not ban Harbor. Nobody will ban or people might pick Harbor, but the maps you're gonna see picked are Overwatch, and I mean Overwatch and Harbor. To be honest, yeah, those are the most picked maps that I recall.
Also
from.
Temple.
Oh yeah, and Temple. I forgot that map exists.
oh, hey Anton, how's it going?
Hello. Man, the one
There you
talking about Beachhead. I love Beachhead. It's a
No,
very cool
nobody
map.
likes Beachhead.
Yeah, I love Beachhead.
Beachhead is only marginally better than High Fort, so that's why.
But
people
it's a
play
really cool
Beachhead.
map. I love it.
Yeah,
It's a short map. It's like
uh,
a sanctuary, but smaller.
We used to
It's
have a
really cool.
problem of attackers. No, defenders used to be able to stop the cap of attackers' home point. Well, don't worry, we fixed that, and now everybody can stop everybody's home point.
It's true. It's gone from being a one-sided home point map to being a two-sided, well, essentially a mid map. But people still play it like a home point map. They don't go and do that contest off the spawn very
Yeah,
often.
I mean, it is still a home point map. It's just that it's like
It depends on who wins the first team fight and how it goes. Like, if it's a stomp, you're gonna see team fights in mid again. If it's a tie, you're gonna see probably some
Yeah, but that's
pushes because
every-
you wanna contest.
there's every map. Okay, so we have 2 types of maps. We have side point maps. For side point maps, we're gonna showcase it on Overwatch because that's probably IMO the best map at the moment in the game.
Yeah. You think people maybe
Yeah, I think
Temple Garden as well, or people just
Temple
bored of Temple
has
Garden?
a big problem of the rotation to A takes 70, 80 years. So
Yeah. No, the rotation to Overwatch A takes quite a long time. So 1 second, I'm just gonna go and put Noodles in the bedroom so she's not yelling at me constantly. Noodles?
at least he could have done it after he picked side.
It's his cat. Oh, pick a side.
Yeah, well, he could have picked side before he went to like secure his cat.
Are you on me on? I wasn't listening.
We're all gonna be on the same side.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We're
Sorry
gonna
about that.
show the 2 main rotations for each
Oh,
type of
is
map.
it gonna be a 3v1?
You
Is it?
defend,
No,
no, you
no,
defend the 2.
You're coming on our team because we're
Oh,
just
okay.
showcasing what team we'll do at the beginning. I guess we can also
Oh,
pick the optimal team comp just for accuracy.
You need to
Yeah.
show the Russian rotation as well, man.
No, I'm not showing the Russian rotation because there's too
You
many.
should. You really should.
Russian rotation is anything you could imagine. So
Yeah, so we don't know what strategies the main. Well, there are 2 Russian teams playing. So, or like predominantly
Oh, yeah,
Russian
there
teams playing,
is.
RMG and Legion's team, which is called
Yeah.
Oversleepers.
I forgot they're Russians.
Yeah,
But
are
it's
they
like
They're not
SCG
Russians
is the
actually.
one.
They're not
Yeah, but-
Russians. They're Moscovians.
Oh,
Moscovians? Okay, so it's Moscovians versus Russians, all right?
Oh, is it
By
really? Have
the-
they banded together like that?
The Moscovians are the nobles of Russia. Okay, they're like high up, and the other ones are the peasants.
I've always said in Spaniard. Hey,
Okay, what am I? Kyoshin? Okay, so yeah, you're all going C. I'm going mid.
Yeah.
So main rotation you're gonna see across all normal human teams is 1 person mid and 3 to C. Big team fight on C and 1v1 in mid. Obviously, we don't have opponents, but
Yeah.
it would usually be a Kyoshin 1v1 if there's a Kyoshin. If not, whoever, maybe an Orochi, sometimes even a Shugoki if they're running Shugoki, like RMG sent Shugoki to mid for a while. But whoever comes to mid, whatever, they fight in mid, whoever wins the 1v1 can do one of two things. One, go and help the team fight at C, if they're losing or if they're about to win but can't quite do it, or if you have low health, you finish the 1v1, you're 1 HP, you're gonna grab mid and run over to cap A. So even if you lose the C team fight, you're gonna have 2 points to fall back on.
Yep. I've also seen people run in and decide they don't want the 1v1 against whoever's running.
Yeah, I've
And
when
then
I
run straight into it.
subbed for whatever the name is nowadays, HSS. I subbed and I had to play Kyoshin, and they had an Orochi enemy team. Obviously, Orochi Kyoshin matchup, which we talked earlier, isn't very favorable for Orochi. So the Orochi, instead of fighting me, just went straight to A. It's it's the strat to do on paper, but it didn't work out for them because I would get mid for free, they get A, but then I just go and grab A, and if he stayed on A, he'd lose the 1v on an A. If he ran away from A, I'd still get mid and A. So
Okay.
I don't know how
I thought
practical
I'd
that
seen
is.
some also just going straight to the team fight and having a
They
like
can
I
do
guess
that, but
seating mid for free and having a big rowdy 4v4
yeah, I mean
on
they
C.
could send 4 there and have a 4v3 while the guy's in mid, but they could either turn into a 4v4 by the Kyoshin just, or whoever is going to mid just rotating to C, or again, very bad scenario, the Kyoshin just gets, or whoever gets mid and A, in which case you didn't do anything. So to be honest, IMO, I think the beginning of a game all revolves around the 1v1 in mid.
Okay,
And
interesting. We'll see if the
takes it, because there's plenty of games where people have gotten absolutely stomped on the C team fight, but they also just won the 1v1 pretty quick and got both points, and they were it's sort of an easy opportunity to bounce back.
That's very interesting because I've always we're often when spectating we focus on the I mean I guess it depends on the spectator, but we'll see maybe sometimes we'll see some focusing on the 1v1s at the start of matches change up the pace of the viewing experience. So moving on from the starting rotation, what kind of like overall map strats are we
Oh.
going to be seeing?
The biggest strat is, we call it twosies. Twosies. Basically, you have 2 players on each point, with mid free for the enemy team.
Let's
This
say
scenario,
we've won our 1v, we've won the home points after the first fight. We've now gone to put a 2v2.
So in this
we've got
scenario, we have 2 on each point boosting. At the moment, we're generating much more points than the enemy team, who just have mid, and we're also, all of us are getting renowned for boosting. What would happen here is enemy team could do a few things. One would be full scale assault on a point, which is send 4 people to 1 point and try to blow up the 2 people while the other 2 rotate, and get that point. Or they could follow through and do 2v2s and send 2 people to each point, which is a bit riskier in my opinion. But the
May I
reason
ask
this
something
is,
real quick?
yeah, go ahead.
Because you see the full assault and the 2v2. Because when we were casting the qualifiers, it was basically they cleared mid and then they decided, and pretty much in 99% of cases, everyone was sending 2 on each point. Everyone was taking the brawl basically. And I never quite understood why, because sometimes it was very obvious that neither team will win the 2Z. So
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
quite surprised you say it's riskier because everyone was doing it.
the reason it's riskier is because if if you do a team fight, it can turn into a 4v4, which is much
Yes.
harder to determine by just how good the players are. Like if you put the best team against an average team, and like essentially nobody will scrim 4v4 team fights. Everybody scrims either the minion, which is all of everything, 1v1s, or 2v2s, which
Yeah.
is 2v2s is direct practice for that scenario. Obviously, in that case, the better team will usually win with like 75% chance. If you turn it into a 4v4 team fight, it chances will get closer to 50-50 because it's much harder to actually control a team fight, even if you're the best team ever. Because
I think it also depends a little bit on. I might be talking out my ass here. Talks a little bit on the compositions of which who ends up boosting which side point as well, because it's
yeah, I mean,
because
this
it's not like you always get to pick which like have the most optimal 2Z's composition on both points. Sometimes you've had to send one low person to A to heal up whilst the team fight finishes on C, and then you end up sending somebody else to join them, or who also has to leave later on or something, who doesn't have as much like synergy with them as a twos. I'm not sure what the best twos composition at the moment is. Would you say it's Raider and Orochi, right?
Raider or Orochi, or honestly Kyoshi and Orochi.
Okay.
But basically, the actual reason that this is so strong of a strat is because no matter what they do, who they send to where, they're not gonna have anywhere to heal, and wherever they're going, if they lose, they're feeding defender renown.
Yes.
So, thing is, a very powerful thing to do while doing this strat is while they gather around in mid, getting ready to push. If you have flask, arrow, strike tier 2, bow,
Or kunai
and even kunai, bombs, whatever, you can just throw it at them in mid, and that would seem stupid normally because what the hell, they're just gonna go and heal. Yeah, they have nowhere to heal, so you're essentially making them go into the fight already at a disadvantage.
Yeah. Something I'm doing right now that I've seen a few times in the qualifiers is they send one person with often the fast rotation speed. Either they've got rush or they've a fast character like Orochi to stand like halfway between the points, who can quickly go from one to the other. So if, especially in the case of the A fight here, so because A takes longer to get to, and we can see him go up the ladder. So if I'm standing over here, I can see I'm standing on the middle of the bridge at the other side. I can see if they're going all four to C, or if they're going to go to A. And then if I can go, I can either go quickly back and reinforce my teammate if it's a 2 scenario, or run and join the 4v4 faster in C as well. So we'll see that quite a few times, I imagine. I think I saw, who is it on is it Herman on Raider doing that?
Yeah, Herman and Hiren tend to.
Yeah, they were doing that quite a lot.
That. But that's like the main strat across all teams. The one that will be seen the most, and will, I guess, also make the most sense. Alternate one is the usual since forever keep 2 points with mid and A or mid and C. Basically the minion lane and 1 point, because that generates the most points for your team. And for them to push your home point, they will have to take a fight in mid first, which can go a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Also, tell me if you hear the kids screaming next door, because my neighbors are crazy.
Sorry, tell me if you can hear my cat screaming in my bedroom. That's also a kid screaming next door.
Those are the rotation strats. There's what are other like strats? There is, you're gonna see a lot if people pay attention. I know the average watcher won't, because you're not actually spectating yourself, you're just watching the commentating, whatever. But don't you do that. There's a lot of managing when it goes around to renown. People in like comms will be like, oh, I need to clear mid, I'm close to getting this feat, and they're gonna let that person clear mid for the renown and protect. They're gonna be protected by their team. Or people are gonna be like, oh, I need this kill for 4th. They're gonna do that. Or I have tier 4 here, we need to use this here and keep the next tier 4 for next team fight. There's a lot of, what's the word, micromanaging.
Yeah.
For feats and renown, that you don't actually see because you can't hear the comms of the set teams.
And sadly, the spectating of the majors is usually not great when it comes to renown. We never see it. The best thing we have to go off is when we see people from the overview and
actually,
set
I don't know who is actually in control of the spectating, but whoever you are, please look at the scoreboard every now and then.
Yes, please show the scoreboard sometimes.
It's so important.
Even when a team fight has concluded, just open the scoreboard somewhere. Would be amazing.
Yeah,
it tells so much.
It makes so
Hopefully
much
they
sense.
will be. Hopefully they'll be have some of that in. That's been some of the feedback from the last major as well. So I'm hoping they'll maybe even have like a little pop up of the scoreboard. If they have a different camera that's constantly on the scoreboard, they can pop it up in the corner or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what they'll do. And ideally, spectator mode itself would have like a small side version, like a minimize, like a open up scoreboard that's on the side rather than so you can have it over with each player, for example, something like that. But you know, maybe for the future. But hopefully that'll be something that the production will be able to do this time. Maybe not.
Yeah,
I
let's
can't obviously.
move
I
on to the other type of map,
Yes, this right now was a
side point map.
Side
so
point
this is
map.
gonna be Overwatch. This is gonna be Tempo. This is gonna be I'd say Harbor is closer to side point than mid map. So Harbor, Beachhead. The only maps that are mid based are Citadel and Sank, and no, just those two. Which coincidence?
Which do you think people will favor at the moment, Citadel or Sanctuary Bridge?
Don't know. Okay, they're
oh really
equally garbage. But the thing is, so for Sank, people don't like it because it's such a stupidly long map. For example, I mean, we'll showcase on Sank because it's like as mid of a map as you can get. But if you're pushing all enemy home point and it doesn't go perfect, and you just like say one of your teammates dies, but the fight is still winnable. Unless you have a teammate ready to rotate, the rotation from spawn all the way to the enemy home point will take at least like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is
So you
not
can't-
ideal. On Citadel, it's a bit better because the map isn't as long. But on this map, yeah, no chance.
Surprised Forge isn't picked in the tournament. Forge isn't in the competitive map pool. Just in case that joke didn't.
But yeah,
wasn't-
there's also a massive difference in terms of how fast renown is gained, depending on whether home point map or mid map here. Because the mid maps tend to have slower renown gain overall, because there usually are less pushes
Yeah.
on the home
You'll
points.
see-
So
yeah.
you have less defender renown to be gained. So
Also,
renown gain is
anyway,
all lower.
And you'll be boosting quite as much in the same if it's this the two-Z strat lets you boost quite a long time, so you won't be boosting as much.
Yeah, as a watcher, tip for the viewer, do not trust the score on maps like Sank and Citadel.
Yes.
Because, for example, Citadel has this problem the most of it can be 600 to like 350, and it's still
Oh,
not in somebody's favor because it's just how it works with mid maps. Everything can go wrong in like 10 seconds. But basically,
Showed off.
beginning team fight on this, beginning rotation on this is Orochi or Kyoshin, depending on, because usually teams, I've only seen one team to have both, and now two actually. Nemesis now has that as well. But
Yeah, because Cody's moved them off.
Orochi, the fastest rotation character, will go to A to cap the home point, while the other three go to mid. So in this sense, it's the same as side point. It's just that the team fight in mid will be a 4v4 because the rotation from home point to mid is really quick.
You also see whoever goes to A will almost certainly close off one of these doors on this point, at least
so
on this map.
I'll
at least.
do it on the enemy home point
Yeah,
because
so you won't-
that's like the back cap. That's the back cap.
Yeah, so you can't stop them. You stop anybody coming up to back cap, which
Back caps are very scary on mid maps, so you're gonna want to prevent that.
yeah.
You just do that when you go to cap the point and jump off, and you're fine. And again, like Freeze said, you're gonna see renown is very slow on maps like this. Not necessarily because there isn't as many pushes, but it's just that every team fight will happen in mid. Every single team fight. If there's a team fight happening on the home points, it's most likely the last team fight at the end of the game.
Yeah. So you can expect to see fewer feats, just like you won't see as many feats, or they will more likely come out at the very end of the match all at once, rather than. I think something you see quite a lot in maps, especially if there's a lot of renown early on, is that people will use a tier 4 in the middle of the match, so they can get it back in time to use later on if they only get 2 uses, or sometimes even 3 uses out of it. But you won't see that in these mid ones because it's very unlikely to, because people don't tend to get their tier 4s early enough to be able to use them before the needing them again to get them back and then have them again for the tier 4 for the final fight. I think. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. in the meantime, I can talk about we're gonna see normal rotations, and while talking, I will do the full rotation from spawn to enemy home point to see how long it takes. It gives me enough time to talk about the whole rotation. But what I was gonna talk about is how pushing home points on maps like this is really important. It's rare that it happens, but it is really important because a good push will absolutely like break an enemy team because they will have nowhere to heal. And on a map like this, even when you go to mid, you're sort of forced to split into two because the rotations are so fast that the enemy team will just get mid for free. And even if you win your fight, you've done absolutely nothing. So it's if there are a lot of also very bad pushes. Um, Focus on Clutchmeister. He likes to do bad pushes.
We had him in. He had him a while ago doing a whole dojo about when to push. So I hope none of you watch that.
I mean, okay. Let me clarify.
I'm
His
joking.
pushes are good, but
Yeah.
his team, so to say, lacking recently in the skill department. So basically, he's used to doing a push. You see, you have a 4v4 in mid, beginning 4v4. Your team is winning, they have health advantage. That's a good time to push because
Yeah.
if there's somebody healing, you stop the heal. If there's nobody healing, you cap the point, they have nowhere to heal. Automatically lose the team fight. But since his team has been not performing as well, they need a bigger health gap between the players, or they need more feats to actually reach that point of this push is good guaranteed. So a push can be bad because if you do send somebody, when you do push for a back cap, you're essentially leaving your team to be outnumbered and just
Yeah.
hoping that their health totals and feats will be enough to sort of still push through and win the team fight. Or of course, if in case one's going to heal and you're pushing him, you're peeling one off and it turns into a 3v3. You get the point.
Yeah, it's and they end up being very, very aggressive because of that to get this. Because the other way these maps end up going out, which is very, they can be very risky for both teams and an uncertain outcome, is you end up with like just a constant back and forth with them holding their home points, each team holding their home points, and they're just fighting in mid and going back to heal when they need to, and back and forth, and the points totals like stay about exactly the same, and then you end up with both teams going to breaking at the same time, or one team going to breaking because mid switches to their point to their side semi randomly, and then you can lose one team fight. All you need for that kind of match to go against you is to lose one team fight at the end. Whereas to avoid that situation, I've noticed that people have been very aggressive making pushes on home points, because when you get that in this map, if you get on maps like this, if you get a triple cap, it's probably even harder to come back from than the 2Z strategy in the side point map. Would you say so, Normie?
I mean, yeah, I would.
Yeah.
As to address the question in chat, if these strats in general would work in matchmaking, well, would they work if your team understands? Yes, but at the same time, it will usually not be the same outcome as in a competitive game because people in competitive have priorities of if a team fight is sort of tying, they're gonna stay in that team fight and nobody will go to heal even if so basically what I'm saying is imagine this scenario. Each team, the 4v4 in mid, each team has one guy on 1 HP. Those two guys will stay in the team fight because it's still a 4v4. And even if he leaves to heal, yeah, that's a good rotation. He goes to heal. But they're still outnumbered. That 1 HP guy can do a lot with that 1 HP. As for in matchmaking, you have people all over the place, people in your spawn, people behind you, people in front of you, people on top of you. You're not going to get the same outcome, basically.
Yeah.
And talking about more in-depth strats after the beginning rotation, two's strats is also the best one on this map. For obvious reasons of what I told earlier, if you go to mid, there's a lot of pressure on you to push a point before the enemy gets too big of a point lead. while they're also boosting on the map that where it's hard to get feats. So they're getting feats on the map where you will not have anything. So often, if a team gets a really strong start, fast team fight with triple cap, it's I'd say 50% of the time game over from there.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes this map in particular. Human has mentioned it's probably one of the most hype ones in terms of swings. Is that you can vet this more than any other map. I think, at least, I think it can go from being triple capped in one team's favor to being triple capped in the other team's favor, partly because you can have a push which might be successful in taking the enemy's home point, but if it's not successful in taking and holding the enemy's home point, if you end up with too many of your players on low health and they come back in off respawn very quickly, and you have to have sent one person over to back home to heal, whatever, you can then lose the map very quickly in the opposite direction. So I think that a Humanist is right about it being the opportunity for comebacks. Comebacks can be dramatic on home point maps like this because it's so hard to come back from a triple cap, like a full triple cap where you've got everybody in full health and that kind of stuff. It means a bad push can get you a triple cap that looks like you've got a big lead, but actually ends up being a very unstable lead that you lose very quickly. So I think that's probably
Yeah.
something that
To
we'll
sum it
see
up,
as well.
mid maps are very volatile in terms of score. It can go all over the place.
Yeah.
And now since we've covered the maps and strats, oh, by the way, I wanted to add before we move on, a big tip for the viewer again. Usually, holding a triple cap or holding a point lead is determined by feats. If you have feats, you're gonna have an easier time holding your lead. If you don't, you can lose it much easier, because funny feats win team fights. Example, JJ.
All right. Just had to go and feed the cat so she would
So,
carry on yelling at me.
now that we move on, I would like to talk about the actual teams, like Humanist was saying.
Yes. So Humanist has mentioned which are our favorite teams in the mini series. So yeah, let's talk about the teams.
So I can back
Start
up
off with
with
EU.
this. So obviously, all I know is EU. So, but we have Rippy for NA. So for EU, 4 teams in the major are Nemesis, RMG, aka Russian Mind Games, HSS, aka Homeless Shelter Squad, and Oversleepers, which like to not show up to tournaments. So it's 50-50 if they show up.
Talking which, I think if we go to the battle, sorry, I think if we can go to the Battlefield page, I'll send you the link in a chat. You can actually see the participants who. Well, you're right. Which one hasn't signed up? Nemesis hasn't signed up yet, but they will at some point. I'm certain. So we can look at the. If you want to pull that up on stream, we can show it off.
You also show the overall scoreboard.
Yes, that's a good idea.
You know, with the points, maybe that. I mean, all of
Yeah, I
them.
mean,
on
give me
the
that as well.
screen.
Just give me everything.
Yeah, I'll let me get the points for the leaderboard as well.
Give me that.
It's the wrong one.
Okay, while we're doing this, I do want to mention that this major ammo might be the best one to watch. I think it's definitely going to be the closest because right now, all of the top teams, plus minus Russian Mind Games, are sort of trading scrim sessions. Sometimes, so for example, like last week, Nemesis lost to RMG, but then the next day they won 12-0. There was some behind the scenes going on with that, with people subbing, but basically it's all over the place. HSS used to get stomped by Oversleepers, but then like 2 days later, they won 6-3. So currently, the only team getting stomped consistently is RMG.
The team
Really?
that qualified first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
RMG qualified first and were, until the previous major, were the ones in the lead in terms of number of points. So yeah, I would agree with Normie. It's very likely to be very close, and because because so much can change on the day as well. Like who's feeling better essentially. who's feeling themselves that day, and the matches are best of 3. It is double elimination, but they're still best of 3, so it's not a huge number of matches to even out something like this over. So the potential for upsets is really high, and it's going to be very difficult to predict who is going to take it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I've got a favorite in EU.
My favorite, actually, I don't even know. I want to say my favorite is RMG because I feel like they were together and have gone through the most. Obviously, there's Nemesis, but Nemesis can carry their own. They don't need my support. But there's been some changes. Obviously, last major we seen. Totmind just moved to Nemesis last major, I believe.
Yeah,
It was
so I
right
guess we
before
can.
last major. It was a literal 12 hours before tournament switch.
Well, so that wasn't the last major. That was in the so
Qualifier.
if we catch people up from the last major, the things that have changed is the teams that you recognise would have been Nemesis Esports. They were the same. RMG were called Monkey Visors before, and they had Nature playing for them, and then
Oh wait,
Nature
no. Okay, no,
in the
okay,
middle of the in the beginning of this stage, Nature left the team and to play for another team that was in the majors, which were called L Collectors.
which
I mean,
is
I guess
now
I could read out my summary posting.
which is now okay. So
No,
Nemesis,
no, I think it's
Nemesis,
more interesting to cover the one
RMG
differences
is
between the qualifiers.
RMG
Yeah.
is Monkey Business, or was. Oversleepers is a completely new team, so good for them.
Well,
And HSS
those are new,
is
but they are a combination of Nam Gloria, who played in the series 1 major, Legion or Solips, who was
I mean,
in
it's a combination of
Collectors.
players from 3 different teams.
Yeah.
So
And
it's a new
Kumeku,
team.
who was originally in. Well, Kumeku actually was in the pre-precursor to Russian Mind Games very early on, before they got Nature. He was the one who left them for Nature. Nature came and joined them, and he left. That was back in stage 1, back in May or something. And now then he was originally going to be subbing for Nemesis, except in the beginning of this stage, except he overslept his
He overslept the tournament, and then
his
it was
debut at
born.
Nemesis, which is why his team is called Oversleepers.
Yeah, it's
So,
a
and
bit
the
of
team
lore.
who was in the last major, who we won't be seeing this time, was Extra Cool Gatchias, who didn't manage to qualify, probably because L Collectors split into later in the middle of this major. They split into Oversleepers and Homeless Shelter Squad.
Yeah. So Homeless Shelter Squad lost Totmind and Legion. Lost them to 2 different teams. Totmind joined them like 12 hours before the tournament for one of the qualifiers. I know it was the second qualifier.
Yeah, it was before it was before qualifier 2. Yeah.
Before qualifier 2, Russian Mind Games has remained the way it is, the way it was, and Homeless Shelter Squad, aka L Collectors, have gotten Herman and Hiren, which is Herman is new to this team. Hiren is old. What's the word?
He actually
Old
played for them
reliable.
yeah.
Well, the old guard.
Yeah. So
I mean, Arman is no.
Hiran played for L Collectors in the first series, in first series, and then no, actually, I think he was in.
No, he was in.
No, he
He
played for
was
them.
in a different team. Then he got that team. That team was a meme team. It was like participating
Yeah.
for the giggles. Then
Oh, yeah.
they.
He benched Fish.
Yeah, he benched Fish. Then he was on L Collectors. Played for them. Got kicked out. Got picked up by Nemesis.
Yeah, well, I thought he got headhunted by Nemesis.
Got picked up by Nemesis. Kicked from Nemesis. Put on RMG. Kicked from RMG or left. I'm not sure about that one. And was kind of gone for a while. And now, since L Collectors were missing a player, they got him. And since they also had to get a replacement for Totmind, which they got Herman, it was a very different team. They decided to rebrand.
Yeah. So actually, to follow the story of Hiran in the previous stage 2 majors, Mina B was on L Collectors, and he didn't show up for the tournament. So I think he was ill, and there was a good reason why he couldn't make it. But it was poor communication, and I think in particular Setmix was quite annoyed that he didn't sort of tell his team that he wasn't going to get there. So they had Hiran come back in as a sub at the last minute. So a lot of, apart from Russian Mind Games, all of the teams have got players on them who have previously played for their competitors, I guess. And in particular, sort of I'm gonna like sort of point out the competition going on between Totemind, Legion, and Setmix, who were all originally L Collectors and now on 3 different teams. So every match in EU is going to be a grudge match. So it's going to be fun. Like I'm sure For Glory is going to be, there's going to be a lot of hype in For Glory, whatever the outcome of the tournament. So
You can watch during the tournament already,
yeah, and
because there will be shit talking going from round to round. The
Oh, yeah.
moment only one team wins over the other, you immediately gonna have the
you can have
I
if you've
guess.
got 2 monitors, if you've got a 2 monitor setup, you want to be watching the stream and chat on one monitor, and For Glory for the apps for the shit talking and and yelling at each
Yeah.
other on the other one, because they'll probably both be equally as entertaining for 2 very different reasons. So
it will be an emotional series overall. Like people, like you said, it's gonna be grudge matches all the time.
Yeah,
So
I
what
hope
is
they manage to do
this?
some interviews and stuff,
It is
because
Totemind.name. What is this Totemind? I don't see. It's Tot.name.
oh yeah, I mean, like the people change their names so often that
Yeah, I mean literally everybody in RMG has a different name now. So
yeah, they've all. I mean, I wish I could shake my fist and they're all changed their names. Is Eternus is now Art God, and
No,
God
no,
Bless
no.
is now.
God Bless is now Art God.
Oh,
And Eternity is now. Okay, basically all of them put RMG
Thought
in the
it's
front.
Harmony now, isn't it?
No, Harmony.
no, that was Harmony was God Bless.
Harmony and Eternity are 2 different people.
Oh fuck me. Man.
Harmony
I know, right?
was Harmony, and he turned into what
God
was it?
Bless.
God Bless, and now he's Art God, and Eternity was Eternity Eternus, and turned into Spark for what reason I don't know. Actually, I do know why. He had to change name because the whole name he wanted didn't fit in, because they all have RMG before their name, dot their name, dot Nova at the end.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So they're like the official team for Nova, representing Nova.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Nam Gloria for a while, but
Well, Namgloria doesn't
Yeah, I
exist.
don't get it. Keep
Nah,
your
no.
name if you want to get fans.
yeah, if you want fans, you need to keep your name, because honestly, we need a phone like a spreadsheet. I actually do
Yeah.
literally have a spreadsheet to keep track of all the names
Yeah,
of
if
these
we
guys.
already need to,
Yeah.
like, if other players you scrim need to look up who the fuck you even are, then might be that you change your name a little bit too often.
Yeah. So
I mean, Tot
That's
just changed
I
from
mean,
Tot
Tot
Mind
is
to
fine. I mean,
Tot
it's the
NM.
same. It's just shortening. his name.
Totem
That's
don't mind is fine, I guess.
that's
And
not changing your name. It's fine.
Barrackers.
But
Nemesis
yeah.
quite
Same as
good at
Barak,
keeping their branding on, keeping their branding. So they're the one. And I guess Fair Setmix hasn't changed his name, and neither has Salts for ages. But everybody else seems to be changing it every day. Grumble, grumble, grumble. So that's EU. NA Rippy is going to be your. Actually, first thing, let's change your name constantly so your opponents never know who you are. That's actually, I think, why they do that for matchmaking, to stop people dodging them when they're playing matchmaking.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
why not just get a fucking barcode account then?
problem is
How do you
it
pronounce
only
that?
works for like 2-3 games before people figure out who
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah, this is true. Change it for a week, and then you can beat people who are dodging you again. Okay.
I remember Barak yelling at me for revealing he was Baby Yoda.
But yeah.
All right, so the teams in NA, we have the 4 teams who will be playing are Reading Comprehension, Guidance Gaming, Black Jackals, and who's Team Killing Service? Of course, Team Killing Service. How could I have forgotten? So the first ones who qualified were Black Jackals.
Yeah.
And
And
but
you had
and then Guidance qualified.
No, Guidance Gaming's one, entering
Oh yeah, they
the
were 2 number 3,
qualifiers.
so it was
So
reading
yeah, reading
comprehension.
comprehension, then guidance, and TKS qualified in the
Yeah.
last one.
And if EU were difficult to make predictions about because they are all very close in terms of abilities and stuff, NA is almost harder to make predictions about because to a certain extent none of them have really even played each other in the qualifiers even because TKS had issues with. I mean, you can tell repeat had one console left from.
So basically, console had to step away for a while. He didn't know if he could play the stage 3, so we had to find a replacement for it, which we did. Then he ended up coming back. He's now playing for Black Jackals. So there's been some roster changes recently.
Wait, consoles on Black Jackals now.
Yeah, because he ended up coming back, and then since we already found a sub, we didn't want to just kick Weed like that. So
well,
we ended up finding a team to
tell them
participate, and
I don't know about this.
yeah,
That's
that's really recent. That's been a thing for like 2 days now. And with
well,
that roster
tell him
change,
he needs to tell the admins because they need to approve that because the rosters are locked after they
I
qualified.
have
So
no idea. I just saw the Battlefire roster and shit, and I assumed they talked to the admin, but I have no
is it
idea
on
if they did.
okay, I haven't actually checked that, so I'll do that. Yeah, if it's on the Battlefy website, it should be verified and everything. So I'll just double check.
That's on the leaderboard, where it's on their roster on the tournament page.
Oh yeah, so it is. So who's
Yeah.
drop? So who's Oh, has Raven stopped playing?
Oh no, really? I had my
Oh,
favorite team because of him.
yeah. Oh, I was gonna say that was a big thing that exciting about Black Jackals was Raven had come back.
I'm gonna make a read and say he got kicked because he was
The
trash.
Golden God is not playing.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened, but
I mean, I
would
remember
say that the team
because
is definitely stronger with console net over Raven.
I subbed for an, or no, I didn't sub for him. Minimeisters played against I don't know what their old name was, Black Jackals. But we stopped them really hard, and they had to switch up Raven mid scrim sesh because he was trash.
I see.
Well, I
that's
mean,
unfortunate.
Minimeisters, which is by the way.
Are you telling me you destroyed my fun?
Oh, yeah.
Being able to watch Raven
Probably,
again.
yeah.
Oh, I
I
really
mean,
want
they didn't they switched him out for that. I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. As for who Minimeisters is, it is the
Yeah,
the
it's
destroyer of
Meister.
universes, the remover of all the competition. It's the 4 best players in the game together in a team, which is
So-
2 underage and Clutch and Toad at the moment. So, yeah, it's not actually a team. If rules were different,
Yeah, and for
Mr.
tournaments where they've
Mr.
got
Dominion Series,
yeah,
we can thank them and we can raise pitchforks for the same reason, because if Minimeisters were in the tournament, everybody would get 100 to 0.
yeah, I think that's very likely. I mean, NA I think will be exciting because even if Raven isn't in, well, which makes it very sad. I was hyping up Raven being in Black Jackals, but we've seen Mo and Egg, who previously featured in the last I think in Major 1 back in May.
Yeah, they played in the Major 1, took a break for Major 2, now they're back on Major 3 with Factor and Console
with
now.
Factor, who is the new talent, and Console, who's from TKS, who actually it's going to be that's going to make the points, the leaderboard, very different because of
Initially, Black Jackal had like no chances to avoid LCQ. Now with console points, I think it's very likely then one of the 3 other teams that were until now guaranteed a spot in the finals will have to go through the LCQ. So either Team King Service, Guidance Gaming, or Reading Comprehension will probably depending on the majors results, obviously, but
yeah,
no one's guaranteed a place in, like, there's not the step out there.
Yeah, and actually that's
true. 3 teams that won't.
That is pretty much the case for EU as well. Actually, we haven't really talked about the points, but there are points up for grabs in the major, and the teams already have points that they have gathered in the previous. Noodles, what are you doing? They've already have points which they've gathered in the previous matches. Sorry. and the top 3 teams will go straight through to the series final, which is in February, and the team that isn't in the top 3 points will have to go to make their way through the last chance qualifier, which is in January. So it's the 3 top teams in each region which have the most points. And yeah, there is enough points within all the teams are close enough that any of them can be in the top 3, I think, with the possible. Actually, no. Yeah, if Homeless Shelter Squad win this major and Oversleepers lose it, and so if Homeless Shelter come first and Oversleepers come last, I think they'll be tied on points. And I'm honestly not sure what will happen if that happens.
But
So
one of the strong teams here will have to probably play last chance qualifier. So EU will send a really strong team to that one.
yeah. And to be fair, one of the NA teams are close as well. But if let me just work out quickly. I've got the points thingies here. I just was taking my time on I can't talk and do things at the same time. So how many points has console got? Yeah, so with console instead of factor, they should have.
No,
If we're looking at
instead of FHA
Raven.
rated.
oh yeah, instead of Raven, my bad.
I don't think it changed anything, but yeah.
So it will put them from 780 points to actually just below guidance with 1380 points. So 1380. So NA in terms of points totals is going to be incredibly close with console playing instead of Raven playing. Because Raven only has 50 points on him because he hasn't played that many matches. I think he only played the first qualifier, which they won. But yeah, that means NA. Okay, well I didn't know that, but NA is going to be even closer than before because the teams are not only
with that roster change, you move from a 3rd stage major that really wouldn't change anything because the only thing I would change is the seed in the finals. But
yeah.
the actual people participating in the final wouldn't change. But with that roster change, actually anyone can make it to the final now. There's
Yeah.
not a guaranteed spot.
Absolutely. I think the only guaranteed spots in the final at the moment will be for Nemesis and RMG. I don't think they can lose enough points. Well, even if they come last, you gain some points from getting into the majors. I think the minimum you get is 400 points, and the maximum you get is 1,000. So
Yeah,
they
exactly.
can't be enough to not make it to the grand finals. Of course, there is a considerable cash prize up for grabs in these ones as well. So in the majors, I think it's $4,000 per region, which is nothing to be sniffed at. I could certainly go for some of that. Yeah, so the chart was updated, the leaderboard was updated as of the end of the qualifiers, so which was a week ago. I haven't heard about this console change in the roster until literally just now. So otherwise, it would have been updated with that as well. And I will go and speak to the Battlefield guys about getting it updated again after this. But yeah, in terms of what's going to happen I'm sorry what to watch for. You're gonna have to watch for to find out the results because I couldn't predict them. I think well, Freeze, what's your favorite team per region?
Oh, I don't want to pick favorites.
I'll pick favorites.
You pick favorites. Okay. go ahead,
I
go
like
ahead.
getting enemies. Come on. Okay. NA favorite. Okay. Let me look because I don't even know.
See, the NA one would have been easy if Raven was in it.
Yeah.
I wanted
Yeah.
to see Raven clown on the people that have been clowning on him before.
Nah.
Yeah.
I think it would
Because
be.
that would have been entertaining, but now I'm not sure.
yeah,
My
because
favorite
you
in
used to
NA
have-
is TKS because I want to see for the first time since the beginning and genesis of human race. I want to see Wheatbread winning a tournament. And for EU, honestly, my favorites are MG because personal
they've been
reasons.
together. Yeah. Well, I think I really want to see Oversleepers win in EU because I just love all the drama surrounding Legion. He's a very entertaining character.
Yeah.
So Legion is Solips, and he has the capacity to play like complete. His best plays are
Yeah.
the best, and
There's
his worst
very
plays
high
are
highs and very low lows.
low lows. Yeah, so is the most one of the most entertaining players to watch for me at least. So oversleepers are like I guess not one of my favorites, but it would make the story exciting. Yeah, wild card. That's the right term for it exactly. So and then NA. Yeah, like I said, I would have said I want to see Black Jackals, but if they haven't got Raven in them, for those who don't know, Raven is a long time. Well, he organized a lot of tournaments for competitive for Honor for quite a long time, and then took a bit of a hiatus and was apparently back. And for a lot, he's always been a figure of a lot of people have been sort of he's attracted a lot of haters who can't stand how much of a golden god he is.
No. Listen. Okay, we have Legion,
So
and NA
very
has
funny. And
Raven.
he in particular, sorry, I just want to say finish off. He's got a very long standing grudge against Scorebrand and Guidance Gaming. So to see them to play off against each other would have been the height of drama. But other than that, then I guess I have to say I've got to put my vote behind Team Killing Service because again they are comparative newcomers to the scene in terms of they weren't known in the competitive scene previous to this year. I'd say like they really took off in the first I guess at the end of the previous mini series, and it's great to see someone some teams like making up to be like the new potentially the new number one squad in NA, which is exciting.
So yeah,
Sorry.
each region has its own wild card. Legion for EU, Raven for NA, or well, not anymore. RIP. Each as for the best player in each region, in EU you're gonna see Clutch, and in NA you're gonna see Egg? Question mark. I'm not keeping up with NA, but I think Egg.
Yeah, I mean,
AKA
I always say
Konanuma.
yeah. What's his name now? Is it again? Keeps on
It's
changing.
still the same. He hasn't changed. It's just such a complicated name that nobody remembers.
No, I think on the participants, it's now what is
They
it?
did change it. I don't remember
He
what.
changed it. He changed it. He changed it. He's
He
had
did.
Custom Mago or
No, he's not.
Kasuta Mag. Oh,
It's
just
just
called egg.
watch the egg emblem and then you
Yeah,
get.
it's an emblem of an egg, and you can look at that. So that's easy to fact. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
egg's
gonna.
very interesting to play to
I'm not
watch.
gonna find out.
Shigstas is another one who's really, really exciting to watch. He plays the Orochi, or at least looks playing Orochi
Shigs
last
is
time I saw.
dog. You're wrong. Shigs is dog.
Yeah, but he's still entertaining to watch. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's dog, man. He's just not good.
oh,
Don't watch any
well,
Egg.
yeah.
Everybody roots for Egg. Nobody else. Okay.
I've root for Egg as well.
Yeah,
Egg's
Egg only.
great.
Egg only. But yeah,
Um,
I think I don't know about how Egg is in NA, but in EU, Clutch is the best player in the Dom series by, I'd say, like a decent to big margin.
Fair enough. Yeah, there certainly will be players to watch for all of them. If they is an Aramusha played in NA, it will be by Vein Noir on reading comprehension, and that will be entertaining to watch.
Yeah, if there's one, it's gonna be there. I don't think any other team's gonna.
No, I don't
pick that
think
character.
so. I don't know if any of them playing Kyoshin. Kyoshin's always quite stylish to watch as well, so we'll see. Huo Willin, who's also on Guidance Gaming, plays Raider quite excitingly as well. I always love watching Scorpion play. Who's he playing now? Scorpion's playing.
He's still on JJ.
He used to
He's
play
on JJ,
Nobu,
yeah,
and now
yeah.
he's on JJ.
He was on Nova as well, and Kensei and Rippy. You're playing. Who are you playing? Goki still?
Yeah, I'm still playing Shigoki.
Still playing Goki, yeah.
Going
Yeah,
cheese.
Warmonger. Well, there
Yeah.
was some.
I was about to say
Honestly,
because the
it's-
Russians are scrimming with
No,
Warmonger,
not
right?
anymore. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Was
Okay,
that just
that was ego
failed
thing,
experiment?
Ego experiment between Kemeku and Solips because Kemeku wanted to play Warmonger and they were also at the same time kind of stomping every team. So Solips was very angry. He was like, "Why do I have a Warmonger in my team? This is stupid." Obviously more colorful language, but I won't.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
and
service.
then they made a deal, and Kimeku said, "I will only switch off Warmonger if we start losing." They started losing, so now Kimeku is for good on Zanho.
Zanhu, okay, exciting as well. Well,
He's been doing rather well.
yeah,
I think it's like 17-0 scrim and shit.
yeah, they did some amazing
While
things.
while his own team kind of was shit. Kumeko is, I don't know, he's pretty good on
Neku is
John Hook.
known to be like very technically gifted player and just very rarely makes mistakes. So other than of course not waking up in time, which is a pretty severe mistake to make for a tournament. Yeah, he's also you might have known him as Libesano. I think his name is in the leaderboard is still Libesano.
It's Libe Kimeku. He was
Oh, it's
he
Libe
was
Kimeku now.
Kimeku.
Okay.
No, he was Libe Asano. Then he switched to Libe Kimeku, and I think it's Libe Kimeku. I don't even know.
He's leaving Kumeko on Twitch. That's the
Yes.
Twitch channel.
Yeah.
But in game, I think it's just Kumeko, right?
Oh yeah, Solip's also changed name to Solip.sen.
Yeah, what's the Sen?
I don't know. It's just another like Nova.
Oh, Solitz is in it. I never thought of Solitz as somebody in a kind. Oh Jesus. I
Holy
don't know what's
shit.
going on there.
I think
Let me
we need to
Yeah,
switch channel.
we'll switch channels. Something is going on. All right.
I hope I'm being dragged. Because if I'm not, we have a problem.
We're being rated. Help.
Yeah, okay. We're looking at the game again. Because I need to change. Except there is no VC to change to. Cool. I guess I'm stuck here. Okay, I'm here.
Hello. I don't know what is going on
I
with
don't
that.
know
Some
why you
kind
did
of
drag me.
yeah.
Considering I'm
somebody-
crippled in the in the browser.
Yeah, someone's raiding our thingy or something or other. Let me just
I don't hear them because I'm in streamer mode. So
yeah. Okay, that's cool. I'm just
let
going to
me put this back up. Okay, we've been raided. Technical difficulties.
yeah. Sorry about that. This is the danger of doing anything in.
Blame Span. It's his fault.
Yeah, it's my fault for doing that. Yes, the event is recorded. Well, we'll put a VOD on. We'll put a VOD up on YouTube it later. Sorry about that. I will go through and ban all those people later as well. So don't worry about that.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's about it for teams.
Yeah.
that was about it really. So weird way to end the. Sorry, we just had about 1 million people joining the Discord Discord call we
Yeah,
were on.
nobody
'Cause we were
heard
doing
anything
it.
because I'm in streamer mode, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, there we go. So, just sorry about that. Bit of confusion there. But yeah, I think that's really it in terms of stuff we'd say to watch out for. The only other thing is to check is to see if there's any other questions in chats asking. Well, I'm just going to check for questions. Just check for anybody asking any questions. If there's any other questions you've got, put them in Dojo voice text or in the Twitch chat.
That's what I prefer Twitch chat. It's easier, I guess.
I prefer to chat as well. Oh, okay. Just something strange going on. We've got being raided. I don't know how.
My god.
Yeah,
Ye-
I genuinely don't know what's
Can I
going on
do
here.
this? Oh, I can. Okay, we're back to this.
Seem to have stopped. I don't know what. Not entirely sure what's going on here, but someone made a bunch of. Anyway, we'll sort that out. It's boring admin stuff.
Yeah, you go. Just keep going.
Yeah, to keep on talking about Dominion series. Well, I think that's it. We really got to make sure you tune into the. Oh, actually, if you still got the game open, we can show off the drops that are going to be available for people who watch the stream as well. So, we have. If you're going to tune, it's going to be November 27th. So that's next Saturday. Going to be on the main For Honor game Twitch channel. Sorry. I think he'll also be on the Ubisoft Twitch channel and potentially the Ubisoft YouTube channel, but I don't know. And if you watch on Twitch, you can get some drops, which will be if you bring up the game again. Normally, you can show off those drops. You can actually see them in game.
Hold on, let me not leak my Discord.
That's right. It's a battle outfit, an emblem, and an effect, which are all really quite nice looking. I think they're quite good ones. These ones.
I really like
So
the
yeah,
pattern.
Let me get a cape so you can see them on the cape. Okay, wait, where are they? The bottom?
They're at the bottom.
All the
okay.
way at the bottom from the battle outfits.
Okay, wait. I mean, I can find this one. This one's the color. So unlock by watch. Wait, no, it's watching. Wait, wow, battle
Yeah, you
outfit.
put it on continue.
Bottom. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's that one. This is the outfit.
I can't see it.
I really
but
like
It's a
this.
it's a black screen on Twitch. I don't know if
No, it isn't.
Oh, there we go. Okay, now it's gone back to. I'm just behind. That's all.
Yeah, just refresh
So
the page. You're.
it's that one. Slight sentiment. So it's like a kind of fancy grey. You can see it in the bottom of the battle outfits menu as well. You can see all the.
Yeah, I've been looking
Yeah,
at it for
I think
30 seconds.
the emblem is really cool. The pattern is really cool. I mean, the color is obviously needs to fit, but other than that, I think it's one of the better battle outfits we've ever
I
seen.
think it's really nice. Yeah, that's a good one. The emblem, the emblem, the ornament is nothing too exciting, but it's got the nice Dominion series logo on it. You can also see that, and then yeah, no, it's nice battle outfit. Yeah, watch this. You'll have there'll probably be like some questions and stuff to answer in like I think it's the Azarus extension. So yeah, tune in and grab this as well. You can show us the ornament quickly before we.
I already did. Just refresh your page, right?
Oh, okay. I guess I'm. Am I watching? Oh, I'm watching on Twitch. Oh yeah, it's just Twitch is behind me. Okay, Blair. Yeah, that's a nice ornament. It's quite exciting. Axes on it, and the Dominion series symbol, and then the effect I think is called bioluminescent seal, and it's kind of blue and shiny, and looks pretty good as well. If you ask my opinion.
Man, this is like these guys want them to win if they made it blue. It's the perfect blue as well.
Yeah.
Isn't an A team running blue? Guidance is blue as well, right?
I mean, ECG was blue as well, but this is like a dark blue. It's like nem blue.
Guidance was all
I
like
don't know if
It's
team still has
copyrighted.
the color. I
XD.
mean, we used to be blue, but I don't know if we're still running color or anything.
yeah,
Also.
I like pink TKS was great.
Nah, think TKS was bad.
Oh, I don't agree with that, but okay.
But yeah, I mean, there's rewards as well, so more reason to watch.
Yeah, and it should be really exciting. So I'll be around in the dojo, and anyways, you can always just like send us a message if you want any questions. And they're doing it here as well. And yeah, that's it really. Have a great afternoon. See you soon. Come and watch the main series. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us. All right. Ta-ra.